Sometimes our lives have to be completely shaken up, changed, and rearranged to relocate us to a place where we're meant to be. Welcome back to the Untamed Texas podcast. This is episode 7, In the Beginning, the 2021 edition. I'm your host, the Timberwolf. I'm here with
co-host Trey Taylor, the Texas Ninja, baby.
And our good buddy Jim Beam Devil's Cut.
Ooh.
A fancy Jim Beam bourbon.
Let's hear it being poured.
Hear the pour. Bring it up to the mic.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
That's so nice.
So nice. I got you, bro. I got you.
You got it?
That wasn't as smooth, but that was like that.
That's all right.
We got them whiskey balls in there.
Hopefully everybody's doing all right this week.
It's been
one heck of a week, man.
Crazy
week. Everybody's
hello 2021.
Yeah, 2021's been so great.
Great.
Oh.
Before we get into that, cheers, my man.
Cheers, buddy. That's a good whiskey.
I've never had it.
You never had it?
No, it's pretty good.
It's I don't even know how to explain it. It's got almost like a spice to it.
It does. It's got that. I will say this: it's not. The Devil's Cut is not taken lightly. You do feel the burn all the way down.
It's a man's drink, right?
Some man put some hair in your chest.
Yeah, exactly. And the women that want to drink this straight, I give you kudos 100%. To that.
You need to shave more often. It's pretty good. I like it. Shout out to Jim Beam.
Yeah,
good job there.
That's good stuff. Man, what a week it has been.
We're going to talk about a lot that has happened during this week. And I'm going to give Trey props. He's actually brought up more topics than I have this week.
Oh, well, I mean, what's going on?
A lot's been going on.
So me being the positive guy that I am, it's been hard to be positive this past week with everything going on, with people storming the Capitol and just everything going on, you know. I mean, we'll touch bases on all this that we have talked about, but 2021...
Is it going to be the change you want?
Is it? I mean, it's still early on. It's January still, right? So,
but you can tell a lot of what's going to be like in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's usually during the climax of it all that you're like, okay, it kind of sucked.
So it's January 8th. We're 8 days into the new year, 21. And everybody, I can't wait for 21. I'm so over 2020. But it's not going to just change like that overnight.
No. It's going to be like that post you showed me.
Yeah. With
the Joker and the Pennywise the clown.
What was it? So there's a picture of the Joker, and what is it? Yeah. And there's a caption that says 2020 showing 2021 around the workplace. You know what I mean? That's funny. I don't want to jinx anything, knock on wood. I don't think it's going to be as bad as 2020 because everything that we're going through right now is just kind of bleeding off from 2020 to 2021. So I don't think, basically, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
There's got to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And
we haven't been in quarantine camps.
I feel like, too, if you stay buried into your phone and social media, obviously it's going to be, a whole bunch of negativity on what's going on and everybody's different opinions and thoughts, and you're not going to know what to think. So if you were to just turn it off and think for yourself and enjoy your time.
We're getting more in that later.
Yeah. I feel like that getting more unplugged and plugged into yourself and in your own house and making a difference in your own household, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like being buried into your phone. What was that? What was that Netflix show? The Social Dilemma?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I've heard it's like a mind fuckery.
You have got to watch that.
Gotta watch a lot of stuff.
So there's a couple people on that show that were the creators of like the like button on Facebook, stuff like that. And they were on the show. And in the very beginning, it was like, we created this social media platform to get connected with your friends and stuff like that. And what it has turned into over time, like these people that created like the like button, for example, like they won't even allow their own kids to have it because of what it's turned into. They start out with a good positive, like, hey, we want you to get closer to people, but now it's turned into like all these ads and people's negativity. It's just kind of turned into something that they never intended it to be.
They didn't want it to be. Yeah. So, and I mean, that's what's crazy about every social media thing is that it's turning into that.
Yeah.
There's always, I think, and this is going to be for all my nerdy folk out there, and I'm talking to you, Samantha, because I know you listen to this podcast. The Marvel character, Captain America, makes a good quote. Everything that is run by people will end up being corrupt because people have agendas, and agendas change.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I've had that in my head since that movie came out, and it's the truest quote I've ever heard any fictional character say, because it's true. If you look at our world that we're at, you go from people like, for news topic as an example, the news as a channel itself was there to inform the public about what is going on and be true about it. Mm-hmm. Now it's opinionated.
Right.
And it's not led by facts. Right. It's CNN said this, so we're going to say this.
Mm-hmm. How many viewers
the ratings.
That's what it's turned into.
It's all that. And, they have so many, it's crazy, so many movies talk about that, and their top, like Anchorman, is ratings.
That's so funny. It's true, though.
And then you look at it in real life, and it's like, holy shit.
So the other day, my wife, she got stressed out because she was, on social media and seeing all the negativity, and then our puppy kind of tore up a little bit of the outdoor furniture and stuff like that. And it was just like kind of one thing led into another.
Right, it was one of those days.
But it was like, it didn't help, right? And then obviously her getting on social media and there's all this negative stuff going on. It just like bam, bam, bam. And I called her in the morning. She's like having a horrible day. And I'm like, just take some time, relax. It's going to be good. Make it a good day, babe.
Drink you a glass of wine.
I called her on my lunch break, and she's still having a bad day. And I get home from work, and she's still having a bad... And I'm like, sweetie, unplug. Like, you have to take a step back and realize how blessed you are.
Right.
Like, you're in a country where if you want hot food, we have a microwave.
Exactly.
You want something like a cold drink, we have a refrigerator with ice. Like, the small things count.
That people take for granted.
Yeah, we have a roof over our heads. We are blessed. You know what I mean? And it's taking that step back and to really, like, hone in on, like, how grateful that we really are.
Right.
And it sounds easy to do from just talking about it, but, like, actually doing that.
It takes a lot.
It does, but when you can actually do that, you're going to find yourself having a more better, happier day. You know what I mean?
The sad thing is, because it used to not be that hard to do. People used to do it all the time, but now in the newer generation that's bleeding off to every generation, media, this little device that we carry around in our pocket, has got us as a race wrapped around its finger, that when we put that thing down, I know people who have anxiety. I got to check my phone. Right. I've got to check my phone. I'm like, dude.
That's why you need to watch Social Dilemma,
You need to stop checking your phone.
It's crazy.
That's the one thing I can say, and I make fun of her all the time, but Alicia is really not into it. Mm-hmm. She can set down her phone and forget about it, but I'll make fun of her about it all the time. Like, oh my God, your phone's gone. Like,
yeah.
But she's not really like that.
Me and my wife had a conversation. Do you remember as a kid, and like, for example, if your parents were talking or something like that, and you were to go up and tug them on the shirt and be like, hey, and they would look at you and say, hey, do not interrupt. That's rude. Mm-hmm. Me and Daddy are having a conversation, or me and so-and-so are having a conversation. You would understand that was rude, and you had to let them finish before you could have your conversation.
Right.
So the other day, I caught myself kind of doing something similar to that. Me and my wife were having a simple conversation over dinner, and it was in the middle of the conversation. My phone dinged. I got a text message, and I looked at it. It was from my mom. And my wife is talking to me, And I completely, like, without even thinking, like, it kind of, like, didn't ignore her, but I looked at my phone, I was reading the text message, and I was kind of like, it was from my mom talking about a birthday that was coming up, and I was reading it, and my wife kind of just stopped talking, but I didn't, realize it, and I stopped reading the text, and I looked at her, and she's like, that was very rude. I was like, what was rude? She's like, well, that was disrespectful. I was having a conversation with me and you totally like went off and I feel like your phone's more important. And so it's important to unplug like during dinner and stuff like that, because that was disrespectful and I was interrupting her conversation with me because I totally took my attention away from that over my phone making a ding noise. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we had a conversation. I'm like, dude, we've had that conversation before. Like, hey, when we're talking, like, it's us time. And, right. You know what I mean? And I was like, it brought me back to like, oh man, I messed up. So sorry. It's not going to happen again. I'm going to turn my phone off or whatever. You know what I mean?
Put it on silent.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy because I'm laughing and smiling at you because I remember Stephanie as when she was younger, she was worse than that. You can get that girl off her phone. Yeah. And they had flip phones. That's what their first phone.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Those were cool. But every time
you could throw that thing and it wouldn't break.
Oh hell yeah! Throw this thing. Oh, I have to admit, knock on wood, this thing's been through a lot. It's dropped in the shower, and like I just left it there because I was just shocked that it just fell in the shower.
That's so funny.
So I just left it there, and water's beating down on it. I'm like, oh well, shit, that sucks. And like, didn't even think about it, picked it up. I'm like, oh, it could be broke now.
I can honestly say to you, dude, the phones nowadays are not as sturdy as the ones back then. The flip phone, my cousin, I was in a Target parking lot, and I bet him $5 that he wouldn't throw his phone across the parking lot.
Oh,
and he did. He chunked it as far as he could, and it went like 80 yards. Like I didn't even see where it landed, and we drove the car to find his phone, and it still worked. Like perfectly. It didn't shatter, didn't do. And I was like, dude, these things are like indestructible.
I had my buddy who was the kicker for our football team.
Yeah.
He punted mine. I told him, I said, I dare you to fucking punt it. I said, I bet you can't make a field goal. He made 5 field goals because I was just like bringing it back. Like, do it again.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He was all like, aren't you afraid I'm going to break your phone?
Was it the flip phone?
Yeah, I was like, it's a razor. It never will break.
Oh, it was a razor? Oh my gosh.
Like, dude, I've run over this with my mom's car. It's fine. It popped the tire.
That's crazy, bro.
No, yeah. But I made the mistake of my first ever, I guess you'd say touchscreen phone. I thought that they were like the same way because it was like the Gorilla grade glass and like that. So I was like, my buddy was like, bet you won't throw your phone out of a moving car. And he was just joking about it because I would do stupid shit like that. And I rolled down the windows. He goes, what are you doing? I just flipped it out. Didn't even care.
What happened?
I mean, it was cracked as hell. But we drove back, we picked it up, and he goes, why would you do that? And he thought I was going to be freaking out, but I wasn't.
Did you have to get it fixed, though?
No. He kept on, like, we got back in the truck. He kept on driving. I rolled down the window. I did it again.
How pissed off were your parents?
I bought the phone.
Oh, like, man.
The first thing my mother says, why would you do that?
Yeah, what are you thinking, Sean?
And I was like, I don't know. But luckily, I had a warranty with T-Mobile, so they were like, oh, we'll replace it. Gave me a new phone.
That's freaking hilarious.
So, yeah, I was just...
Dude, that's hilarious. I can't believe you did that.
I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, it's already cracked.
Especially you paying for it. Like, oh, that's cray.
I was 16. I didn't know what money was.
Bet you do now.
Oh, yeah, I do. Well, hopefully 2021 is the one that hopefully it does change. You got to give it a few months. Let it blossom. Let's get through the cold and into the summer storm.
When you talk like that, man. Pee.
Yeah.
Ew. Sorry about you listeners. He's pretty straight.
I'm pretty straight
for the most part.
Depends on what day it is.
He has his moments.
It depends on what day it is.
So 2021 off to a rough start. Obviously for people that pay attention to
maybe it's just that like let's get all that bullshit out of the way in the beginning. Maybe it's just that.
Maybe, hopefully.
Good
I really hope it is.
At the end.
So, I support the blue.